been a crazy Monday for all of us, but we're here on time. This is the first for all of us, so that's fantastic. But you guys,
you're the late one always, not me.
I am always late. If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. That is a rule by according to me and Russell. But you guys know me, Amy, here with Fern and Russell for Author Talk, and our lovely guest today is Texas Sisters Press, which is CJ and Lydia. So everyone say hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Man, how was everyone's weekend? Me and Sandy had a fantastic weekend with CJ because we launched her book that she's now claiming. So it was a fantastic Saturday. That was at 1. So if you missed it, you missed all kinds of giveaways and goodies and just facial expressions done by yours truly, because I forget I'm on, you guys. I really do. So if you see like a weird face, it's not directed towards you. It's either directed towards my child, or I forgot that I'm on, or I can't figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. So that is just the fun rule of fact. That was my weekend. So Fern, what did you do all weekend?
Not much. We had a situation with one of my aunts. She fell, so we dealt with that. But you know, I have to tell you, I love your hair. Your hair looks awesome today, my friend. I wish I could get my hair like that.
It's a hot mess. Usually it has more time to fall, but you know, Russell was like 9:45, 9:50, and I was like, oh, somewhere in between there and hell. I didn't get on till 9:50. So, you know, it is what it is today.
We still were on time today. I mean, but it looks great. I like the way it's faded too, like the dark versus the light. That is very cool, my friend.
I like it today.
Oh, Fern's always the dark versus the light. She walks around talking about the dark versus the light.
It's what I write. It's what I write.
I love it.
I realized at one moment, I came to the realization that in my childhood, when I was watching Sleeping Beauty, the animated, original Disney, I learned all of Maleficent's lines. I knew Maleficent and identified with her, and I didn't really care about Aurora at all.
That explains a lot, Fern.
I know. I realized that quite a few months ago, and I'm like, maybe I should just embrace the fact that I'm probably Maleficent in this world. Just saying.
It's like I always yelled and cheered for the dragon in Token. I was always a pro-dragon.
I'm always pro-dragons too, my friend.
I gotta say, I'm more interested in Amy's stand-up routine she just did. That was excellent.
Oh, well, Russell, I get on here and wing it, okay? So it's different. But Russell, what did you do this weekend? I'm excited to know.
We bought an RV.
Yay.
Ooh, okay, I like it. So you're gonna like half camp, half glamp, or what?
Well, it'll give me a chance to get out in nature more. Right. And my wife's actually wanted one for about 7 years, and I kept saying no. And finally, about 3 years ago, she confronted me and said, I'm going to win. I don't know why you keep resisting. And I knew she was going to win, and she did.
Oh, I love
scary. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Well, it's not a matter of her being happy. She's she's wanted it, and she knew in the end I wouldn't say no.
Oh, I love it. So when are you guys going to take it out?
Well, I lawyered up on them, so we have some inspections and approvals.
Oh, okay.
I'm my typical lawyer on stuff, and so it could happen this week. And it may not.
So it's doubtful. So you'll probably do it closer to the end of the month. That's what
end of the week.
Oh, do you know where you're going to go yet to break it in?
No, you got to take those things out on test runs, for a weekend, figure out how to run it. Right. But my wife has mentioned Key West. That was a very positive place.
Heck yeah.
And I'm always into going back to the mountains and staying. Oh yeah. She just yelled at me, Lake Louise.
Okay, that'll be fun. I can't wait to see the photos. You and Melinda always post fantastic photos of your adventures.
You guys are in nature a lot.
I love it.
I love nature, but then I want to stay where it's air conditioned and I have a shower. So An
Yeah.
RV actually is not a bad idea.
So you're
No.
like,
I have one. I actually used to live on one when I was a catastrophe adjuster. That's where we got it. So I would have to travel to the different sites that got hit. So I loved it. You kind of learn a lot of the ins and outs of it. But I love nature too. I just don't like the spiders.
Mhm. I just need mosquito netting. Mosquito netting. That's
yeah.
we
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have mosquito netting or some kind of protection between me and nature. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't do crawly. I really just don't do snakes. I mean, I can get over spiders unless they're, like tarantulas. I can't do those. Okay. But snakes, I just, no.
Well, fun fact, did you know you're never any more than 3 feet away from a spider at any point in time?
No, I didn't. I felt safe in my house until now. Now I do not feel safe in my house. No.
And tarantulas are actually the least aggressive animals on the
I
planet.
know, but they're just so big. It's not that they look scary. I mean, they kind of do. It's just the size. Like if it was like, I don't know, like what is it, the golden web spiders or whatever?
Yeah,
Banana
golden
spiders?
orbs, yeah.
Those are big too. And it's just, a spider intimidates me, you guys. I mean, I can handle a lot, but a spider is just scary.
Well, and another fun fact, did you know that in South Africa they have a spider called a bird spider that literally eats birds?
Yeah, it's huge. I couldn't live there or Australia. I'll
Yeah.
visit. I'll visit.
In the Amazon, they have the Goliath bird eater, and that's a beautiful tarantula. Eats birds too.
You guys are gonna give me nightmares by the time this is done.
I actually used to have a tarantula. I had a tarantula. They live for a long, long time. So it died very recently. Twinkle. She was a Chilean rose hair. And
Twinkle? Her name was Twinkle? Oh, good.
Her name was Twinkle because you have to mist their tank, and so she would twinkle with the mistiness. And but it was great for my classroom because, whenever we did research, we talked about all the things we thought we knew. And then we, went into like actually finding out about tarantulas. And and the kids, 6th graders, they ate that stuff up, I had to keep them away from the tarantula though, because, 6th graders.
CJ, Lydia, what did you guys do this weekend?
Well, I had a book launch for the book I'm actually claiming now.
Were you not claiming?
Okay, would you explain that? Amy said that twice, and I'm not clear into what the joke is.
This was the very first book that I ever wrote. So it wasn't actually properly edited. It was just the book that I used to go into the author world. I didn't want to go in a series. So after I wrote the 3 series, I went back and looked at it. I'm like, wow, this really sucks. So I've
got one of those books that suck.
Yeah. So it took me about 6 months to I changed it from first person to third person and just completely rewrote the storyline. The only thing that's the same are the characters and a very thin plot line that's the same.
Yep.
So now I'm cleaning it.
That is very cool that you went in and did that,
It was very painful. The other thing is Stacy's character comes in the first book of the Grace Restored series. And so she's in the first 3 books of the Grace Restored series. And then her son comes in at the end of the Divine Legacy series. So I had to keep all of that stuff in mind as I was rewriting it and doing it.
And there's a lot of power to rewriting a first book, especially since you've already gotten other books, and then you can really thread things in, so if somebody who doesn't realize you actually did that after the fact can go, wow, look, all the foreshadowing she put.
There wasn't a whole lot of foreshadowing. Like I said, this was the first one. And so my characters just cross over storylines. So you'll see Nick Locke appears in this, and so does his supervisor. And Nick Locke is one of the main characters in the Grace Restored series. So
very cool. And it's a timely book because it's all about small town corruption, government corruptions.
Yeah, basically the book, the small town was founded with these certain families, a certain core amount of families.
Is this your new book? Is this the one that I have a
Yes.
cover of?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Okay. So
keep talking. I'm
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So these families founded the town, and as each generation came, the corruption got worse and worse and worse. And while Stacy's dad Sam grew up in the town, he left as soon as he graduated high school, so he never really saw the corruption, because unless you were like deep in it, you really didn't see it. And when Stacy's mom died, they moved back to his hometown, which is Pinecrest. And when they got in there, Stacy kind of stepped in it right away. And she found out about it right away. Well, Sam is a lawyer, which Russell, I know you'd appreciate. And so he has many, many, many family connections, including a brother who's in the FBI.
Oh.
And so, Supreme Court justices, all sorts of fun connections. And so he brings those connections in to take this crew down, which causes a battle within the small town. And the governor's like, I don't want to call in the National Guard, so try to keep it under wraps and take care of this, kind of on the side sort of thing. And, you have to read it to find out what happens.
Cool. I love the FBI.
Mhm.
I considered, applying for like the FBI at one point, but I realized that like the military, they make you go through boot camps.
Plus,
somewhat physically fit.
bugs. You would have to go outside.
I'd have to go outside. It wasn't going to work. It just wasn't going to work. But I love the FBI.
Yeah,
They're like my
outside.
favorite. I'm not that fond of the CIA, but the FBI I love.
Sneaky. Well, the FBI and police are in the Grace Restored series. In the Holy Frame trilogy, it has firefighting and military. The Divine Legacy series takes off 20 years later with the kids from both of those series, including Stacy's book, and they take on the Divine Legacy and pull forward. So, like I said, these kind of the characters all crossover storylines. And there's one more book, which I originally wrote for our Christmas anthology for Texas Sisters Press. And my sister goes, nope, this needs to be its own book. So Christmas Angels, hopefully, Lord willing, will come out next Christmas. And that's going to completely round off the whole thing with a pretty little bow.
So who published all of your books?
Well, that would be Texas Sisters Press, which I am half of, and my sister down below is the other half.
And I hear there's some news on that front. You guys have some new authors you just got, right? Share.
Well, we just signed an author, Jeff. What's Jeff's last name?
Jeff
Craig. Yeah, Jeff Craig. His first novel deals with intelligent design and artificial intelligence. He just sent me the manuscript last night, so I can't wait to dive in and read it because I am a huge sci-fi nerd. And so
we also have Matthew Martinez.
Yep, Matthew Martinez is a children's author. He and his wife wrote the most adorable book for military kids. Now, if you're not a military kid, you'll still enjoy the book, but it's targeted at sort of that deployment, separation and everything. Is super cute. Then we have another author, James Holland, who's a retired minister and in missionary, and he is fascinating. He's written a sort of a commentary / biography on the Bible, and he brings in his personal stories. He served in Africa and South America, as well as here in the States. And so anyway, fascinating guy. And so, yeah, our little engine that could is beginning to kind of take off a little bit. It's awesome.
We're meeting with another one this morning too.
Yep, meeting with another children's author this morning. So, we'll see. And we've got the Christmas anthology that CJ mentioned earlier. I haven't read CJ's new Christmas short story, but my sister is very wordy. I think she thinks that she's getting paid by the word. So short story is not her genre.
No, actually, when I wrote this one, it's only about 7,000 words.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty excited at what just happened. I've never seen any cracks between these two that I could enjoy. All of a sudden, one appeared. CJ looked over at Lydia with a death
little bit of
that was nice.
Looks could kill, Lydia.
There really isn't any cracks, so we're allowed to tease each other. I'm the wordy one, she's the big mouth, so.
Yep. So,
Apparently, there's a crack because it just reappeared.
I love it.
That's okay.
We are your typical sisters. We love each other, and Have the.
But don't pick on the other one, or you're dealing with the twins.
Oh, no.
That's all I'm gonna
Right, but don't turn her back to you when she's at the top of stairs either, right?
say. No, we love
No,
each
it's not
other.
that bad.
No, we will
No.
fight for each other.
Yep. In
That's
fact, this
massive.
coming weekend.
As long as you don't write too many words.
Yeah. Well, this coming weekend, I get to have a relaxing weekend at CJ's
Is
house.
Lydia changing the subject?
I am.
Yeah.
I am changing the
Great
subject.
changing it.
No, actually, it's kind of the same subject. We get custody of her. We get custody of Lydia this weekend. We normally go on like a cruise every year, but thanks to COVID, that's not happening.
Right.
So she's coming down to our farm, Serenity Acres Apiary, and we're gonna get to chill by the pool.
Hey,
But
but
be in nature. Oh.
But speaking of cruises, because I've been on one, so I get these little deals. They have fantastic deals going on. I'm just saying,
Yes,
you
they
can go
do.
on like a 10-day cruise in the suite for like me, Josh, and our 2 kids, and it's only like $750. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm tempted.
We'll write your will before you
Just
go.
okay. Catastrophe adjuster and me needs to warn you, especially right now with the way that the hurricane season is going. Do not
Don't
go
go during
until
hurricane.
December at the earliest.
I've gone in the height of hurricane
We
season.
went to
I'm
the
not
Dominican
afraid.
Republic a couple of years ago in September, and we literally got out the day before Maria hit. So
So you had a lot of excitement in that vacation.
yeah, so we don't do any traveling in the Caribbean at all when it comes to that time.
About the pricing, y'all. I mean, it's a good deal.
If I weren't so broke I can't spell the word right now, I would totally be booking a cruise. But I got books to publish. I got, and so it's like,
Well, yeah, I mean, and we've got-
Don't go to the buffet.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other books from me that are coming up that Lydia needs to save room for.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Say hi to some people that are watching. So, of course, the lovely Sandy is watching. I feel like I'm pretty sure it's her, but I am on her account. But I'm going to say
We love Sandy.
Raul is on, my mom is on, and then let's see who else is on.
Well,
All the usual suspects.
Yeah. So everyone, hey, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday and have a great rest of the week. But speaking of Monday, Fern, what do you have on store for Through the Eyes of Authors tonight?
Yeah, so last time we talked about like small presses specifically. And so today we're going to talk about like setting yourself up as a publisher, whether you're wanting to be a small press or you're just going to publish yourself. You really need to have a mindset that that's a business and you have to set it up as a business, And so we're going to talk about like some of the foundational things that you need to consider. We're going to talk about a little bit of like the traditional route, some things if you want to go that way, but we're going to focus on establishing yourself as your own publisher or a small press like you guys, I'm sure some of it is stuff that you guys have had to do, and we're going to talk about like DBAs versus LLCs, do you need to do one right away? All these kinds of like business stuff that you really need to know and that you really need to consider before you just move forward and launch yourself into the void.
Yeah, because we arty farty types, we don't like doing all those numbers and all that, but I will say the tax man cometh, he will cometh. So you better be prepared.
And it is a very different thing, the artistic side of us versus the business mind, but some people have that ability to do both, and so, I mean, if you really are entrepreneurial, you can be self-published and be very, very successful at it. You just have to make sure you see it as a business, and you can, and just like our art, right? We need to separate ourselves from it and see it as, okay, I put it out there in the world now. People may not like it, and some people are going to love it, and we got to separate ourselves from it. Same thing with our business mind, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. It's all that very boring stuff.
You got to take.
Okay, I do have one question. Since all 4 of you are doing like business within this business, and that is would, just as an example tonight, why don't each one of you give one consideration or suggestion you would have about doing that. I know Amy doesn't do that, but she's involved in this business with Sandy about promoting everybody.
Yeah, that's true. So are you saying you want me to go first? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Basically, that's why he just threw you there.
All right.
Yep.
Fun fact. Anyways, so I would say, one, you need to tune in tonight because the month of September for Through the Eyes of Authors is our 2-year anniversary. So it is free to come and listen, to hear Fern, to become self-published, or to start your own publishing company. Tonight is the night that you want to attend. I will drop the link below in the comments for you to join. It is free for this month, and it's only $47 a month. After that, it's fantastic. You guys, everyone has gotten so much resources and become friends, and it's authors helping authors. So it's fantastic to do that. That's why you want to be a part of this community, and you get access to the lovely Fern, who is fantastic and all-knowing when it comes to publishing books or writing books or short stories. So, but my advice for, I guess, becoming self-published or doing it yourself in the business world is it gives you freedom, and you're going to make your money back. Now, it could take years or whatever to do that, but you're going to learn so much along the way, and you have freedom of doing that. Where if you go with like a publishing house, from my understanding, they could take royalties or percentage or whatever. So you're not really going to see the full extent of your money and your efforts in marketing your book. So that's why I'm all about authors being entrepreneurs and marketing and learning and taking advantage of Through the Eyes of Authors to do it themselves and make their money eventually back. It just, guys, it's gonna happen, just might take years. Don't count the years, just count the little milestones that you do. So that's my advice. Who's next?
I have a little emergency. I'm gonna have to check out for just a second.
Okay, all good.
I'll go next.
All right, DJ.
Okay, being an author, you are considered an authorpreneur. So totally agree with everything Amy just said. Through the Eyes of Authors is amazing. You learn a lot. My niche is more the branding, marketing portion side of it. As an author, you have to market yourself. And if you have a company, a publishing press, or however you've got it set up, you have to market that as well. And you have to brand yourself as the author. And people tend to brand their series or anything. But as you can see, you tend to write a lot more than just one series. And so if you do that, you're going to be going all over the place trying to keep up with social media. So make sure to brand yourself. And now, as far as the publishing company that Lydia and I started, it is an LLC. We're always looking for authors. Hint, hint. Go ahead and check it out, texassisterspress.com. But you, again, are an entrepreneur. So you need to do the same marketing applications that you have as an author, the same for your publishing company. So you're kind of carrying both hats.
Lydia, do you want to chime in?
Sure. I guess I'm going to echo a couple of things that y'all have already said, but it's right. You do have to separate the artist part of yourself from the business side of things. And that's hard to do at first. It gets easier as you go along, but we don't need to be ashamed that we want to make money. This is a business. And if everybody could write books and all that, then everybody would be doing it and making money at it. Okay, so we have to respect ourselves and our creations, no matter what kind of art you do. Enough to say, you know what, I deserve to make some money. It doesn't mean that, I'm going to be a shark, but, it's like, but, people are going to drop, $5 to $7 at Starbucks for a cup of coffee. Well, then you can drop $10 or $15 for my book, and so but on the flip side of that, authors are the most generous people in the world. And so, that's where this community that we have and it's always open to new members, is so amazing because we do help promote each other. Fern has her own publishing company. I don't see Fern as a competitor. I see her as a compatriot. I see her as someone who is, working hard to take care of her authors, just like we're working hard to take care of our authors. We have a different business model, totally fine. You know, it's like, because it's, you know, there's a niche for everybody. But yeah, I just would say respect your art and respect yourself enough to go, you know what, I do want to make some money. I would love to retire and write books, you know. So, hey, Steven Spielberg, I've got a great book for you.
You have to spend money to make money.
You do. And I would ditto what you just said, Lydia, about how important it is to acknowledge that art has value, monetary value, you know, because, and that's what we've always felt at Inklings, you know, that's why we almost never ever have like free books. Very rare for us to do free. You know, we've done 99 cents on the ebooks through the COVID time because we realize people are having a hard time. But, you know, art is worth the cost. You know, that somebody puts a lot of heart and effort into these books, into these stories, and you know, you deserve to be paid for that work. You know, so I agree with you totally. And we are not competitors, because I know I can't publish everybody. You can't publish everybody. We need to work together to promote our books, to promote our authors, and to help each other grow our audiences. People can buy more than one book. You know, if I sell Mary Kay, I don't need you going to buy soap anywhere else. But if I'm, you know, selling you books, you can buy other people's books and be a fan of other authors as well. Like, you know, so I agree with all of that. And I would like to add, just like from what Amy said, like all knowing, I am not all knowing. And I think that is critical for you to know that you're not all knowing, that we all have our strengths and expertise. And it is from being together in this community and learning from each other's experiences, bringing in team members. Like, you know, on my staff, there's team members who will tell me like, no, to something I'm thinking. And
people tell you no?
People tell me no. And that's a good thing, because, you know, you need to hear that sometimes what you're thinking of doing is just not a good idea. And you need to acknowledge that other people's opinions and thoughts also have merit, you know. And you also have to know when you really want to do something, you know. And I applaud you guys. You're doing the kids' books. It takes a while to build a good children's division, you know, to have a good, but that's a long-term investment, because eventually you'll be able to do school markets and stuff. You know, you can't do it right away, all because, you know, with school markets, you really need to have more than just a couple bucks to really market. But it's a long-term investment. And if your heart is in it, which I think, you know, for being a former teacher, children's books, you know, bringing the love of reading to kids, that's huge. But you got to also know where your limits are, and look for information and constantly be learning, and know that just because you're being successful doesn't mean you know everything. The industry is always changing. So groups like Through the Eyes of Authors are wonderful, because here's where you find out where it's going next, where the industry is going next.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, just a simple thing like the Amazon algorithm. Okay. You know, whether we like it or not as authors, Amazon is the 1,000-pound gorilla. So, you know, we can sell books other places, but we have to deal with Amazon. Okay. It's just the reality of the industry right now. And just about the time we figure out the Amazon algorithm, what are they going to do? They're going to change it. So that's where I have learned so much from, you know, our group and other authors is, you know, we're all in this together. And so it's like somebody will go figure it out and then teach the rest of us, you know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Amazon, you guys, we have to start wrapping it up because our time is coming to a close. But CJ's book, the ebook on Amazon, is 99 cents. So The Strength from Within. I will post that Amazon link, or CJ, you are more than welcome to post it in the comments. It's 99 cents until October 1st. But you guys, I love Mondays, our conversations. We try to stick to our script, but you know it goes off. But you guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic Monday, a great week, and we will see you all next Monday on Author Talk. So bye, everyone.
Bye.